Don't you worry.
Hey everybody! It is the Honey Badger here, joined by Sir Bonus Content.
I'm having a...
He's actually been knighted recently.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what's up. So it's time for patch notes. It's patch 521. Thank you for that. That was beautiful, lovely. So there are some changes in this patch. Some good, some bad, the ugly, and some other things. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about the patch. I hope you guys enjoy that and things. Right, Kyle? How are you doing, by the way?
I am excellent.
Fantastic. Should we kick things off with the champion changes? Some would say.
Sure.
Champion changes it is. Kyle says we should start with champion changes. We're gonna start with champion changes.
Look, I just throw down the law.
Yeah.
Just saying.
He's impactful, enforceful.
In charge.
All those things. So let's start things off with Caitlyn, who will be first on the docket. So Caitlyn, mains rejoice. All right, so they fixed an issue with Caitlyn's basic attack animation, which sometimes desynced from damage being dealt if Lulu was in the game. This was
very absent.
Oh my god, it was so annoying.
Yeah.
So annoying.
It was really bad.
It was pretty bad. That is actually quite a good fix. I like Caitlyn. I was really, really happy to see her played in some of the games at Worlds, personally. Big fan of that. Big fan of that. So I just asked if we're going to go over the video about the Marksman Changes. We might at the end of this one, so just hang tight. Let's just get through this, then we'll talk about some preseason stuff just a little bit. So, that was Caitlyn. Just a basic bug fix, but pretty nice one, actually. So, we're happy about it.
It needed to happen.
It really did. So next we have Cho'Gath. Now Cho'Gath is seeing some interesting changes. Now Cho'Gath did see some play earlier in the season. Kind of fell out because the meta shifted. But he's still honestly decent. But they're changing his feast. Now, feast stacks on a champion when you kill them are going to be 2 stacks instead of 1. Which is awesome. So you double your stacks if you kill somebody with it, that's good. And then now he has a new leftovers passive where if you kill a minion or a monster and you are at maximum stacks, you're going to heal, which is kind of cool. Instead of just sitting there at full stacks, you have a reason to eat things if you want health. And it's doubled for champions, so you get even more health back for eating people in fights. So Feast just has a few more mechanics to it, and you can now stack it faster if you kill people.
It's obviously better.
It's nice to reward you for something more.
Yeah, you shouldn't have any problem getting to max stacks early game anyway, because all you do is feast on minions most of the time.
Yeah, you do it every 30 seconds.
But then once you hit your max stacks, like you basically never use feast on anything but a champion, and most of the time you don't even care if it's a killing blow because you're not going to get anything from it. But this will actually help. The heal is huge. 300 health isn't a lot, but it's
better than nothing.
Health it's 300 health that you didn't have before. So
yeah, we'll take it. Acceptable. Yeah, it's a nice change for Cho. Yes. Next on the list of champions is Gangplank. Now, Gangplank, at least in my tier list, has been S tier. He's been banned constantly at Worlds, and when he's been played, he has 100% win rate. Gangplank is still quite very strong. Now, the changes to him in this patch, I don't even want to say might. Well, let's talk about it. Let's just talk about it. So first off, general base health is being reduced by 51. So I'll have 51 less health at level 1, and his health growth stat is going to be 3 higher. So he'll get 3 more per level to kind of make up for that. So you have less health early, and then you'll get a little bit more as you level up. So you get to the same point late game. So that's one change. So less health. The other change is on his Q. It no longer refunds mana when you kill something. So, but they reduced its cost by 10. Wasn't it refunding half? So it was refunding 25. So now you're losing 15 each time. Yes. Is that what's happening?
It might be.
I think that's what it is. So,
but that's obviously a huge deal because stacking is really, really easy to do with Gangplank in the early game, and since it was so mana efficient, you could basically use it to also poke and CS to get your doubloons. So this is kind of gonna make in my opinion, this makes Gangplank's early game very, very, very weak, and he's still gonna be that late game monster just because all it takes is 1 Q. But early game, I don't think that he'll be nearly as good.
I don't think this is actually a huge change, personally.
Really?
No. I don't think it's that bad.
Well,
I
even
don't.
the
He does. He's got no mana issues. The health. Okay, so in my
61
opinion,
is a lot.
so the health thing is a little bit of something. I do agree with that. But what does Gangplank start out with? Flask and pots. He's gonna have plenty of health. The main thing this does for anybody who's looking for an early opening against Gangplank, they'll be able to find it a little bit easier.
But if
So
you have,
that
if you have
does
early
take
game
power out.
burst champions like Riven, like that's a huge deal.
Yeah, but if you're Gangplank, all you gotta do is stay away. It's
Well,
annoying. I agree. That's what I'm
but
saying, though. It opens
at-
the door for them, but I think overall
Yeah.
power, in which he just goes pew 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 pew, he's still gonna do tons of damage. Like this doesn't. There's no damage being affected here. He's still gonna crit you for 1500 later, and he's gonna have AOE barrels still wrecking through fights.
Yeah,
Until they touch those, I think he's
I
gonna
said
be
that
fine.
the game was going to be the same. I just think that his early game was so easy before.
Still
and-
is. I still think it will be easy.
And I think that the 61 health makes it so those like Garen or Riven or any of those like top laners that can do massive amounts of damage at once, even early levels like 1 through 5, will be very, very easy to maybe pick up a kill or two, or at least send him back and force teleport to the back to the top lane.
Yeah, like make him go and
Make him use it defensively instead of how teleport's supposed to be used and teleport to the bot lane and screw everybody over.
I still think he's gonna be fine. But yes, it will take a little bit of power out of him. Obviously, nerfs take power out, but I don't think this is gonna be like, oh man, Gangplank sucks now. Like I think it's gonna be like, no, Gangplank now you might be able to play around him slightly easier.
Are you sure
for
that
two
Gangplank doesn't
champions.
suck?
So, he's gonna be fine. Next,
Oh, I love this change.
Kassadin. I do like this actually. So, Kassadin has been in an okay spot, which is okay, obviously.
Which is obviously better than where he was.
Yeah. But now he's gonna have a buff on his Nether Blade, where the cooldown is reduced by 2 seconds, which is actually pretty damn good on him. And then the ratio on it is being increased for ability power ratio. It's gonna go up from 0.6 to 0.7. Kassadin is not a bad champion. He just still has a roughish early game, depending on his matchup. But outside of that, once he does hit 6 and he can finally start to use his Rift Step, he can really still start to do what Kassadin used to do. I think a lot of people kind of forget that, but
I think this actually helped out his early game a lot because, and it's not for like the damage or just even the cooldown. It's just that you can use W more often and you can get mana back, so you can Q more often.
yeah, you can use everything
And
more
then
often.
if you use it at the proper times, you can block a lot of damage from like other good mid laners. But obviously, like Zed's still going to be a problem. Yasuo's still going to be a problem. Those champions that are AD
Yeah.
are still going to be a problem. But it definitely makes the early game easier against those AP champions.
It does. So good change for Kassadin.
I like it.
Next, we have Klozix.
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 Taste Badger's fear.
Taste their feels.
Oh.
Base and Guardian of the Sands Kha'Zix visual indicators for isolated enemies now include a marker around the enemy target, similar to Mecha Kha'Zix. I like that change. That's nice.
That needed to be done. It
It
wasn't
did.
as evident.
It wasn't. I agree.
So, good change.
It was. Kindred's getting some talk in this patch, but not a lot. Passive Mark of Kindred, the minimap icon for Kindred's mark, now correctly represents ally and enemy colors. Allied Kindred hunts will appear blue, and enemy Kindred hunts will appear red. I agree, that was really confusing the way they had that. Not all things Dear Wolf fixed an exploit that allowed Kindred to gain passive stacks from monsters that were not hunted. So,
I don't know if you've played this past patch a lot more than I have, but I've probably played 10 to 15 games in this patch, and I've played 10 with probably about 8, 9, 10 with Kindred in it, and I've never ever had a problem with her.
like winning?
Yeah, like winning against her.
Oh, winning against her.
Correct.
She snowballs really hard early.
But like I guess it's just because of the champions that I play. Like 'cause
I
I've been
think they,
playing a lot
I
of
think they will
Kassadin.
need a, I think
Like,
they
I've been-
will need to touch some parts of her. So her low win rate is coming up. I know
Slowly.
I know a lot of people were having problems with that. Her win rate was like 43%. It's up to now 45.5.
Which is all right.
That's in ranked and that's in decent queues and up.
But, like I guess my point is maybe it's just the champion pool that I play right now, but like she's in my personal opinion, you can't run double 80 carry comps out of the jungle unless you get really far ahead.
It is really tough. I agree.
And so like if your team doesn't like blatantly feed in the beginning, then you're just gonna like pummel the game into the ground because
What if
I've
you take like a Mord bot and you have
well, that's what I was gonna say. Like I think that all of these changes that they're doing to try to like shift the meta around are going to have to be used with one another, or else they're not gonna completely work.
yeah. I don't think she's bad, and I don't think she's great. I think if she snowballs, she's good. And yeah, obviously anybody snowballing is good, but I think she can snowball pretty easily if you're not.
But there's a lot of champions out there that like if you don't snowball, you're gonna be fine.
But
Like,
I mean, when I say
you're gonna be
snowball
fine.
with her, when I snowball with her, all you have to do is go get her stacks. Like you don't have to really kill things, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So that's one way you can snowball with her, which is easier than some champions just getting
yeah.
lots of kills. And the other thing too is, I think she has too many lane exploits at the moment, and I think they'll have to look at that. She can sit in lane too long, and get her heal to constantly go off. So I think they're gonna have to do something, which is why I don't think we're seeing any changes to her in this patch. Also, she's only been out from one patch. They usually don't nerf someone immediately. They usually just hot patch something and throw it into the last patch. So next patch we'll probably see something if they plan on doing something. Right now, I think we're also kind of in that moment of a lot of people don't know what to do with her. Because another thing I'm seeing with people are really weird uses of her ultimate. It's just a thing that I think will always be a little confusing since it saves everybody inside of it, not just her allies. So I think a lot of people are going to be still learning the ropes with her and figuring her out. So
It's just one of those things where like it's all in who times it better, because I've actually been in a situation where 4 people from each team were in her ulti and everybody was low health and I was Kassadin and then I just E'd and killed the whole team.
Yeah.
So it's just like I see the use for it if you can like position it properly, like a what's that guy's name? Bard ulti, Brand ulti, Brad ulti. But if used improperly, like depending on whose animation goes off first, it can be very problematic. So I don't like her ulti. I guess is what I'm saying.
That's the one thing I'm not a big fan of either.
Maybe I just need to play more and get more experience with her and like see when she actually does do that hyper snowball that you're talking about. But like, if it goes past, like I've been behind Kindred like in the game and not, and the game didn't end in like 25 minutes, and then I just crushed the game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like I said, I want to see more from her. She's still
same.
in a weird spot, in my opinion. So. More Hui Kaisers next. The Kaiser of the Hui. This one's simple. They changed his title from the Master of Metal to the Iron Revenant. Revenant. Thanks to a summoner. Yay. Harvesters of Sorrow. Penalty for sharing experience on a kill, instead of it being 0%, it's now 50%. So he'll get less experience to slow down his leveling up. People are happy.
But most, like, maybe this is just me, but like Mordekaiser's early game is really strong and it's all about shoving waves.
Yeah.
And so
super easy to punish.
The experience that he gains is primarily from minion like kills than it is from actual kills. So while a nerf, not that big of a deal, I don't think.
I agree. Also, then Children of the Grave, jungle monsters no longer ignore the pet dragon, so they can start to go hamskis on it if necessary.
I have a question.
Yes.
Does anybody take dragon into the jungle?
Well, if you're walking
once you get
through
dragon,
it,
you just go down mid laning. Like,
well, you can do anything. You can send dragon anywhere you want
well,
on the map.
I know you can send him where you want, but like, don't you just go down middle? And
I think it's just a bug fix, really. It's one of those if this is happening, you know. But yeah, so he's still strong if you understand how to play it, and if he's still weak if you understand how to play around it.
Yes.
Or not weak, punishable. Punishable. Next on the list is Riven. Now, Riven has been seeing herself climb up the ranks of everything due to changes this season. and it had to stop at a certain point, and here it is, or part of it. Blade of the Exile now has new cooldowns. It is going to be 20 seconds, 15 seconds, and 10 seconds longer than it previously was at, those levels. I don't really care.
They actually did this once before, and it was
Yeah.
because it was basically almost like a Darius thing, where like you would come into lane, she would hit 6 and she would kill you, and then you would come back into lane and then she would kill you again because her ulti was up, and then they like basically doubled it to 110 because it used to be like 60 seconds at all rank or something, and then they're just upping it again because they must feel like she's still just a little bit too strong. She's actually the #1 champion that people use to boost with, and it's because
she's
so
snowbally.
Yep.
Yeah, it's nuts. You get 1 kill earlier in that game, that lane is over.
Yeah.
Completely
well, like if you get 3
over.
kills in lane, like let's say you are boosting, or like you are way better than your opponent.
Yeah.
And you get 3 kills, the game's over.
Yeah.
That's it. End of story. So.
Yep.
I like reading chat.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I take a gander at it.
A yander.
Next is Veigar.
Needed to happen.
Needed to happen. Baleful Strike is going to get a nerf on its base damage, and the same thing is happening to Dark Matter. There's no reason why Dark Matter's base damage, without any of your added AP bonus to it, should be 120 at level 1.
That's a lot of damage.
That's so much damage. Think about
it is hard
having
to
another
hit.
like 20 on it, then at least.
It is, most of the time,
Yeah,
like,
but that's so much damage just in a kit, even if you're just
well,
farming.
I
with
understand that, but like in my opinion, the Baleful Strike is actually a much bigger deal because like even though it's 10 damage, like to line up those double hit like minion kills is actually like it's actually a skill to do, and so just 10 more damage on making that like that much harder to do, I guess, will slow down his snowball a little bit.
Okay.
But
okay.
good Viger players are still gonna just end the game with one button.
Yeah, and I don't have any problems with this champion. People can play him. I've had no problems running into him. I think really good Viger players can get you stuck inside of his event horizon, but I still think it's really easy to avoid the whole getting stunned by it thing.
Like, if you're gonna have something like Viger's ulti in the game, though, you need to be able to have an AD zone, or like an AD Zonya item, in my opinion, because I've seen people like, let's say they're mildly fed, like not super fed, mildly fed, and
I know what the answer is, and you're not gonna like it.
Kill the AD carry.
Yeah, well, you know what the answer is. You won't like it. It's called Banshee's Veil.
You can't Banshee's Veil as ulti.
I'm
talking like flash forward ulti and 100% someone with his ult.
No, I know. I agree. It's stupid.
So they need to have a Zanyas for that, but like for an AD champion.
It would be interesting if they put a cap on his AP as well.
Or just
kind of like Cassiopeia stacks.
Or make it like a unique thing where if the person has 500 AD, it does that much less damage.
Yeah, that could be.
So he can't one-shot a tank.
Yeah, I agree. It's dumb.
I guess I don't know.
People's counter argument to you will be Nasus, but think about how much longer it actually would take to get to that point as Nasus to actually one-shot.
Well, and you're talking 1 AP versus 3 stacks.
Yeah.
So like it's already slower, but I understand that AP scales better. And
way better.
Yeah, and it's not just like if Nasus gained AD, like 3 AD for
my god,
stacks, it would be retarded.
Standard attacks would hurt so much, just normal ones.
Yeah, so nice. I can see both ways, but obviously standard attacks are a lot faster than cooldowns.
Yep. Next is the Zilean. Now, Zilean is seeing something that they've been working on in the PvE for a little while now.
Changed billions of times in the PvE.
Yeah. I do like the ideas behind it. We'll see how it actually plays out. So, first off, new recommended items, cool. The new passive that he is getting is...
Hey, Andrew.
Yeah.
Did you know that the new recommended items are already outdated?
Are they really?
That's pretty much how it always happens, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Yeah, they pretty much are always outdated. That's why you come follow me.
By hitting the subscribe button down below.
Oh, I thank you. Good plug, Kyle. Good plug. So his new passive is time in a bottle. So what happens is, over time, he gets experience. When he has enough stored up to finish an ally's level, he can right-click on them and feed them the experience, and they both get that amount. So they can level up. So you can level up faster than your opponent, in theory, when you give it to them. And you can also pick who you're giving it to, obviously. Experience rate, it's listed there.
Zilean, Mordekaiser, bot lane.
Yeah, Zilean Mord bot. Good night. Mord's level 6 and you're level 3. Just kidding, that probably is a little too extreme. But I can't think of a worse lane to actually have, though. I mean, it could probably be pulled off, but I don't think those two would go actually well together kit-wise.
What are you talking about? Is speed Mordekaiser up?
Yeah, but Mordekaiser doesn't want to go in by himself.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I get
That's
that.
go tank with me, Zilean. He's like, no, you go. I'll see you later.
You go.
So his experience rates will be increased at level 6, 11, 16, and 18. So it's actually not huge early, but late game it becomes more of a blub, 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 so he can feed people that way later on. It cannot be used while you are in combat, though, so if he's going to use it to save a life or get somebody a level in the middle of a fight, that is not a possibility. It will not work, so don't worry about that. And then they've also done some changes to his time bombs, mostly quality of life. Bomb attachment from edge to edge instead of the center to center functionality remains the same, but should be more predictable, especially against the larger champions. Bombs now attached to allies at further distances when the bomb lands. If there are no enemies near the bomb's landing area, fix the number of issues around time bomb's animation and visual effects when tossing. So just some quality of life changes to the queue.
Let's be real for a second.
All right.
Time bomb, it was really good in idea, but really, really poor when actually put into the game. Like the old time bomb, being an auto click, was a lot more reliable, and
But too overpowering.
well, then just scale back the scaling. Like it's, I don't know. I actually don't like the new Zilean at all. Because at least the old Zilean found play.
Yeah, Zilean's win rate's actually a lot higher than people think, but I think it might be the like.
It's one of those
Zilean
like
mains.
poppy things where it's like
Yeah, I think it's partially
niche
that.
players.
I might start to play him a little bit more just to see how this pans out. But once again, last time they reworked him, I also said the same thing, and I really wasn't impressed, so I didn't play him more. So, yeah. I really hope it helps. I'd like to see him occasionally. You're right. I haven't seen him in months.
Yep.
Not a single reason to see Zilean.
I've only seen Sunny play Zilean.
Well, I'm gonna play him a zillion times tonight. Oh, bad joke. Got him.
Eve, rat meow.
Now, next on the docket, detonation spells. Now, we know that at Worlds, Gragas was disabled along with Lux and Ziggs due to a detonation issue. They actually just wanted to give you an update and say that was actually fixed last patch, but it's just that Worlds is on 5.18. So
I'm actually surprised that they can't fix it in game, like mid patch. Like you can't just go back into the coding for that patch and just change that one. Whatever you changed.
yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I think they do it for the sanctity of consistency.
Consistency.
Yeah.
But like Gragas is a legit pick, and you're just taking him out of the game.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know.
agree.
We could have got a new Gragas skin, Andrew.
I know we could. Well, we can still get a new Gragas skin.
Oh, they're not gonna have a Gragas skin if he is disabled in the Worlds. It'll be like some stupid.
Comes down to the champion that the people play.
Yeah, but they're not gonna be able to play it.
No, I meant in the whole season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not based off of what they just played in like a match at
we're
Worlds.
getting another Azir skin.
Yeah, no, we'll get an Azir skin. That's for sure.
SKT Azir. Woo!
Yay, more SKT skins. Actually, it'll be really interesting if.
That's Easy Hoon. Woo!
Yeah, what happens when there's.
It's Easy Hoon skin.
Not Faker? I don't know. We'll have to see. Scrying Orb, Radius Vision, now larger at level 9. It's 550. Buy your upgrades. Actually, that's not even the upgraded one. That's just normal. So yeah, that's cool. New Scrying Orb, bigger. That's what you want from it. Report system. 2 major upgrades, changing clarity first from finding a number of report categories down to 7. Increasing accuracy by eliminating redundant report categories. Cool. Cool.
If only reports did something. Next.
Someday. Bug fixes. Fixed an issue where certain files being unnecessarily re-downloaded during patches.
Again?
Yep, that's back to
Okay.
back. Fixed a bug where Tibbers' Molten Shield damage was proccing some on-spell hit effects
Nice.
that Annie's shield does. Haunted Zyra plant effects, attack VFX are once again properly spooky.
Good.
Appropriately spooky. And then fixed a bug that caused flickering for various particles, including Kindred's W,
Cool.
Kindred's Wolf's Frenzy, and then Rek'Sai Burrow Tunnels. So, neat. Neat. SKT1 Urgot. Upcoming skins. We have the bunch. We have...
I like the new skin. I like this. Like Zombie Brand was top notch, but I'm not a huge fan of the Slayer, Jinx, or Pantheon.
I'm okay with the Slayer Jinx. Pantheon's okay too. I don't know. I want to see more. I want to see him in game.
I want to see it better. Like I like Nunu, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I don't really like any current Jinx's stuff.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
so it'd be cool to see a new one. So, but they're neat. If you want Slayer Jinx, Slayer Pantheon, or Zombie Nunu, they will be available at some point during this patch.
That's fine.
So, that is in theory the patch. Not the longest patch, not the shortest patch. But now we're gonna talk about just a little bit. You
Sure.
don't know much about this, but we're gonna jump over to the 2016 preseason changes that are on the horizon. So
Ooh.
we're gonna just talk about this briefly because it fits in with the patch. Now, obviously, these changes aren't completely final or completely yada yada you. But if you want to stick around and listen, this should be fairly interesting, and I can give you my reports and thoughts on things. So. 2016 season goals. I'm going to summarize some of this if we can. So first off, ability power itemization we saw and Juggernaut changes we saw this season. That's kind of a start of updates when we get to, things. One of the big updates, though, that will be dropping in the next season will be an update to the Marksman category.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Marksmans have felt pretty crappy since about season
3.
3.
Early season 3.
Early season 3. Yeah, I'll go with that. Season 2 is a tank meta, but at least we still had Razor. Remember? What was that was the percentage? Madrid's Razor. Madrid's Blood Razor. Good item. If you guys don't remember it, go have a little
powwow.
We'll have a powwow with a Madrid's Blood Razor. So Marksmans will be seeing an update. They want to make each Marksman feel a little bit more special, a little bit more unique, a little bespoke to what they do, which is cool. Not all of them. Some of them are already in okay spots, but some of the older ones for sure will be seeing these changes. Just to give you an update on what some of them are. They're not listed here what all the changes are. There was a post on the forums, so let me remember from my brain what these are. So, the first one, Corky. Corky will do all magic damage, but he will be a carry still. And he's going to have time points within the game where he gets a special set of rockets that will deal extra damage. But all of his stuff is supposed to do magic damage, so he's going to be like the magic damage carry. One reason I like this is because when your team likes to do a double AD comp assassins in the lanes, like if you have a Riven top, you got a J4 in the jungle, and you got a Zed in the mid lane, it's going to be really cool to still bring some bursty AP damage to a fight with Corky. So I like that idea. It's cool. It shifts things. The other changes...
you do realize that Corky in lane would get mauled then, right?
No, I think he'd do okay. All of his abilities you can convert to magic damage.
But my point is, unless they make his auto attacks like super strong, like
no, his auto attacks will just do magic damage, but they will still scale all off the same stuff.
What do you mean?
Like his passive will be to convert all this stuff to magic damage.
So when he autos, he does magic damage.
I think so. I think that's the way they talked about it. Don't quote me on this, but that's what he's centric around. And no, I think he'll do fine because he currently does a ton of AP in lane.
But my point is he still scales with AD. So when you're on everybody's on cooldowns, you're still doing that AD damage. And so I don't know. I think that if you miss an ability or you like don't hit an ability and you're against a full AD carry,
No, you'll be fine.
you're
It's the
gonna get
same as just
mauled.
missing normal.
But like you're gonna get mauled and just auto attack damage because this person has 120 attack damage, and then you have, let's say,
You'll still have 120
5.
attack damage, and it'll still do 120, but as magic damage.
So you still build him AD. It'll
Yes,
just
that's the way it
be magic
sounds.
damage. Okay, I get it. Never
Okay,
mind.
thank you. And also, these aren't final. I could be talking about them slightly wrong, or they might just change these, but this is
Well,
what they kind of talked about.
We don't have the actual numbers or
so
anything.
don't go
so we're
lolsies
just-
on these yet.
Yeah.
The next one's Misfortune. Her ultimate is supposed to crit now, or be able to crit and deal more damage, and some other tweaks to her. Graves is actually getting a shotgun and will do like shotgun-y type damage up close. He's the up close burst champion. He'll see changes to his Q as well. Caitlyn will get automatic headshots if somebody steps on a trap and she autos them.
What?
Yes. Which makes sense, actually.
That is.
And they're on a charge timer. She like can have charges of traps. Yes. And then
Okay.
Kog'Maw is going to turn into a hyper carry, but super reliant on his team. Like he'll be
So
able
he's
to
basically going to say the same.
No. He'll get to double his attack speed with his W, and he'll be able to break the attack speed barrier in the game.
Can anybody orb walk that fast?
Probably not, but why would you need to? Who cares? Just sit there and machine gun him. Okay? And then Quinn's ultimate is getting changed,
Okay.
where she'll be able to use Valor, not as an ultimate, but as a utility to just become more mobile,
Thank you, Jesus.
to move around in fights. So
Oh
it's,
my gosh.
it's like
So
a
she's
second
still
mode.
ranged.
She's still ranged, so she won't be used just to assassinate people or finish them off.
So
with.
she's going to be like Pidgeotto and just
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Graves still gets no cigar. Get wrecked. But Graves can only have his cigar back if Lord Mordekaiser can have his codpiece back.
Or Pantheon or Gangplank can have his pubes back.
That's true too. He misses his chest pubes.
Those were not on his chest.
Yeah, that's true. So those are just some of the changes, just some referencey stuff. There will be other stuff going on too, but those are just some of the ideas they have working towards the changes to updating Marksman. So a lot of really cool things. Those do kind of make them feel more unique. I like the changes ideas to Graves and to Quinn, especially. I also do like the Corky one a lot. They're all really neat. So those are some of the changes we'll see. So we're going to see changes to Marksman just to make it feel like it's an impactful thing.
And then they're changing.
And I think
So
Tristana
people-
can now attack turrets outside the range of turrets when she's at max level.
Wait, what?
Like she can actually attack turrets outside max turret range, like at level 18. I think they're gonna change her scaling so she can now do that, which is kind of cool.
No.
You
That'll,
gotta play around it, Kyle.
that'll be changed.
Itemization is going to be changing, obviously. They're going to tweak a bunch of stuff for the AD champions. We already saw that happen with AP champions and the addition of Juggernaut items this season, so always expect item changes. That always happens. I don't know a season that we didn't see some kind of item change. Now there's going to be this new thing, too, called Keystone Masteries, where once you get down into the grittiness of masteries, they're going to actually
do
have
something?
an impact. Yeah, they'll have more of an impact instead of just kind of microscopic numbers that do things. So changes with masteries will be coming. If you guys know from me, I make runes and masteries videos. Once these get announced, I'll work these out and I'll post new videos on those. That's the reason why I didn't update them at the moment, because I want to see if they were making changes to these. So expect new ones once I get my hands on these a little bit more.
So once again,
Subscribe.
right below.
You can watch the current ones too if you want to have current runes and masteries. They should be in the description right now. So that's going to be happening. There are going to be changes to vision. Everybody, I think, gets free upgrades to their trinkets will be available. There are no longer stealth wards to be single individually purchased from the store. They will still be through your trinkets now and through sightstones. There will be some new itemization towards supports to get a little bit better tier 3 optimization out of support items, probably such as warding, totem, and stuff like that. Just some tweaks around
sightstone, I
vision.
heard.
What?
There's a new There's a new sightstone. That's all I know.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
whole-
Basically, so it just feels more optimal. Yeah. So some of that will be happening. Yeah. So, and like I said, this is not all 100%. They could change their minds as well, but these are where they're currently pushing towards and looking towards. Starting items will be a couple new ones. There'll still be the Doran's line, but there will be some new ones within it, or to bring you different things like something called the Coal, which is like a skirmishing AD item that provides less defensive stats than Doran's Blade, but gives bonus gold for killing a set number of minions. So there's a few new beginning items that we can differentiate
They have
on.
Doran's Scythe, Doran's Engagement Ring, and Doran's Dragon Necklace. Huh?
But one of those is called the Coal. But yes.
Did pretty good on those, didn't I?
Then there's going to be a new jungle camp at Baron before Baron spawns, it sounds like. It will give an individual buff to the champion that gets it, but it'll then open up the map for play on both sides because it'll be a powerful buff for one person pre-Baron. And this means that not all the focus will just be on bot lane where Dragon's at. It'll mean there's incentive to keep a hold of top as well. So top laners won't feel like they're on an island as much as they currently are. So that kind of opens up play on both sides of the map, which makes sense. I kind of like the idea. So that is what it will be. Yeah. So there will be other changes. These are just kind of the general changes they talked about. You can read this post, obviously, on League of Legends. I pretty much covered it, though.
It's only 79 gold, though?
Yeah, no, it's just like
it's only for the person, or is it for the entire team?
No, just this person who gets it.
Ugh.
Yeah,
I'll take a dragon.
No, I know, but I mean, it opens it up, because if this is really strong for an early jungle, like, this is a Lee Sin thing. Like, if Lee Sin can get this and then roam and get good, impactful ganks because he's got even more power, you can see where this starts to,
become a problem?
Yeah, it becomes a problem. That's what I'm saying. So.
Gotcha. I suppose.
Yes, and it does look like it has an eye on its head. So.
I don't know. I'm pretty excited for the Marksman changes. Obviously, I don't have any idea what they are, but if they screw up the game as bad for Marksman as they did for Juggernauts, I'll be happy. If Marksman just have like 3 months where they're just like face smashing everybody.
Yeah. So the other thing too they mentioned is they really want item optimization to not always be the same too, so they're going to try to diversify items again. So.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. I mean, they did somewhat with the AP changes. There are actually more open builds.
Yeah, but now it's.
There's still always a better set.
No, it's not like a one change. It's not like you have a completely like they need to they should by this time in the life cycle they should have probably about double the amount of items that they actually have in the game. Because right now it's like only one item's different. Like if you're playing against an AP mid laner, you go Chalice over Morello's, and then you build Death Cap and you build Void Staff and you build Luden's Echo and you build Zhonya's.
Yeah.
So, like, there's absolutely no variation except for that first item. And, like, I don't know. They would solve this so easily if you had more than 10 AP items and you had more than 6 AD items. Like, it's just... But I understand that makes it, twice as hard to balance. But,
yeah.
I don't know.
They're also going to do changes to mana pots and health pots.
Like... By taking them out of the game?
Yeah, mana pots will be removed.
Alright. I'm good. I like that change. That's good.
Yeah. Health pots are going up in price to better position them as a purchase for those who just need some sustain to get them past early game. Any form of long-term sustain we folded into refillable potions.
So wait, they just made it so it's a refillable thing?
Yeah, it's like Flask.
Interesting. We'll see.
Yeah, well, like I said,
it's
none
so hard
of these
to
are
tell.
100%. So
it's so hard to tell, even if like these items as stated, like these changes as stated, will like what they will do, because we don't even know the actual numbers behind it yet. So it's just like
yeah, exactly. That's the big one.
We're kind of just throwing darts in a dark room.
Yeah. I can tell you one thing though. I'm really excited for the Marksman changes. One reason I've been playing way less of Marksman over this season and last season is it didn't feel fun. It didn't feel as fun as it could have been. So It's just not. It's just a reason for me not to play it as much. And if I feel less impactful, I'm not going to play it as much. So I've been playing. You guys have been watching me. I've been playing everything else. It seems. So, um,
It's not like you can't AD carry. You just
do
don't.
I think it's too much change to learn? No. In fact, I don't actually think these changes are that big at the moment in comparison to things they've done in previous seasons. Like season 3 was huge.
I think that at least once a season, at least once, they need to try to reshape the game.
Which makes sense.
Because could you imagine if it was still like season 1 stuff and all they're doing is a whole bunch of tiny changes? Like
No, and the thing is, that if they get like 8 solid different changes, they could slowly revert back to things from those seasons if they really wanted to.
yeah, exactly. Like
And
just
so,
yeah.
like one of the other big ones too is like, so people are like, these changes seem big, and like I hate change. Every time a new season comes out in the league, I honestly usually hate it. This one I'm actually kind of excited for, and I actually like the current meta and the current playstyles and the current game. I actually really like the way where it is. I know some people think it's boring, but that happens every season. But season 3 had really big changes. We saw the introduction of sight stones. We saw pink wards no longer go invisible because they used to. They had 3 hits and they stayed invisible. Then we had trinkets introduced as well. We had all of the support items overhauled. We saw all the supports changed completely. Like, Season 3 had a lot of big changes to it.
Isn't that the season that Oracle's Elixir was taken out?
Oracle's was removed. Yeah, there were a lot of changes at Season 3. So I don't even think this is as big as Season 3 at the moment. We'll see what they actually do. And like we said, this is just all talk and what they're planning. But we'll see
And
what
it
actually
depends on what
happens.
items they change for ADs.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Change is always a good thing, too. The minute you start to bitch about change being a terrible thing, you sound like an old person. So just remember, the more you complain about it, the more you sound like a
kids,
grandpa.
get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn! Keep that grass short for a reason. So, but yeah, that's the patch and our little look at the upcoming preseason and what will become Season 6. Sounds weird to say, but that's what it will be.
This game came out like, what was it?
2009.
Like 2 weeks ago, 2009 or whatever. That's ridiculous.
Yep. So, league 6 years old.
Oh
But yeah, that's the patch and the preseason look. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you could leave us a like, we would greatly appreciate that. If you want to check out things Kyle doesn't do anymore, you can see his link in the description.
That's true.
Got him.
I need to get back on it. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. Take a break if you need to. I probably will be streaming tonight in a little bit. I'm going to grab some food and be playing fan games. So if you want to check out the stream, you can watch it on YouTube or on Twitch. It will stream to both. Patch Notes just gets streamed here because it becomes a video. But it will stream to both. More people watch it on YouTube, though, because better platform. Other than that, though...
Wait, just so you know, make sure you have Curse Voice already updated because that is the voice communication.
We do use Curse Voice when we
Badger
talk.
uses.
Yes. But yeah, we'll be playing fan games in a little bit. Probably like, I don't know, maybe an hour. 30 minutes to an hour from now. I got to eat food, though, because I'm hungry. So we'll be doing that for a little bit tonight, and then I got to work on some videos. So that's the plan. Hope you guys all enjoy it. Like I said, leave us a like. We'd appreciate it. And we'll see all you guys, I guess, next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.